positive and negative intervals. Okay, so we have the following graph. We can see where it starts, actually the beginning of it on the graph, and actually where the ending of it, and we see that it's sloping downward. So we want to select the interval where g is positive. So we want to know where g is positive. So these are our choices here: 1 to 2, 3 to 4, and 4 to 5. Now, on the graph, anything above this line right here in this area right here is considered to be positive. Anything below this is going to be negative. So anything above the x-axis is positive, anything below the x-axis is negative. So if we look at 1 to 2, 1 to 2 goes from here to here. So that's in the positive range. Okay, what about 3 to 4? See, now look what happened to 3 to 4. 3 to 4 is in the negative range. So this is 3 to 4 is here, and 1 to 2 is there. So 3 to 4 is not a good choice. Okay, what about 4 to 5? Well, see, 5 is going to be located right there, and 4 to 5 is from here to here, and again, that's a continuation of negative. So the only one that sits above it is 1 to 2, because we want anything positive, and positive is above this x-axis. This is positive, this is considered to be negative. So my best choice there would be A. Okay, we want to figure out on this graph here, we want to figure out which ones are negative. So if we have a negative on this one, again, anything above the x is positive, anything below the x is negative. In this case here, we want only the negative because it says negative here. So we got negative 2, which is here, to negative 1, which is there. And you see this is above this line here, so that's positive. So A is no good. The next one is negative 1 to 0. So negative 1 to 0 is right there, 0. And notice that's above this line here, so that's positive. So far A and B failed. So now the next choice is from 0 to 1. Notice 0 to 1. This is below this axis here, below the x-axis, that's negative, because anything above the x-axis is positive. So what's negative here is C. Okay, next one. We want to be g of x is better than 0. So we want the g of x to be better than 0. So we want the x to be better than 0. So right here, anything better than 0 would be positive numbers, because see, 0 is better than any negative numbers there. So again, if we have our x and we're comparing our x to 0, the numbers that are better would be any positive number you can think of. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. The negative numbers are not better than 0. 0 is always better than any negative numbers. So what we're trying to do here is we want to look for positive numbers here. So we want to look for positives, anything above the line. So we have negative 5 to negative 4. So negative 5 to negative 4, that goes here. Well, that's below the x-axis, so that's negative. Next we have negative 2 to negative 1. Well, if you see negative 2 is right here and negative 1 is there, that's above the line, so it looks like that should be our answer. And if we go on 4 to 5, 4 is here, and the next number over would be 5. So 4 to 5 again is below the line. We want anything above the x-axis here. So what's above the x-axis is negative 2, negative 1. Okay, next one, we want g is negative. So g is negative. So in this case here, what we want to do is we want to write this as a positive. This is my x-axis and this is my negative. We want this to be negative, so we want anything below the x-axis. So from 0 to 1, So from 0 to 1 is here. So that is actually below the line. That's actually negative. See, 2 to 3, if we go down, 2 to 3 is positive, but we only want the negative. So 2 to 3 is out. And 3 to 4. 3 to 4, 3 to 4 goes here. That's in the positive range, so that's out. So the only thing that works is the negative, and that's from 0 to 1. So 0 to 1 is my best choice because I only want what's in the negative.